It was 6:30 in the morning when I left my friend's house. It was Sunday, the air was cold and Berlin was still half asleep. We were off to Poland today, just a day trip. There's something about these small morning journeys, birds chirping, crossing streets, still wet with you. I like moments like this. Past few months with semester breaks, I've been lazing, sleeping through late mornings. This felt like a needed refreshment. First stop isn't far, changed few trains, usual mini adventure of German regional travel. Once we found our seats, we started with the breakfast. We had packed it from our house. Somehow food always tastes better when the train's moving. And of course, no train ride is complete without at least one friend pretending to sell food in train. It was both funny and nostalgic. As we moved through open fields, the world outside turned greener, patches of forest, grasslands, and teeny houses that look so beautiful. Since it's the start of autumn here in Germany, I don't think we get to see greens more often in the coming months. We had a short break between trains, maybe 15 minutes, so naturally we did what every group of friends does with a spare moment, we made a reel. It's silly and chaotic and fun, the small in-between things always ends up being the best part. Next, we got into the main train to Szczecin, and yes, I'm pretty sure I've butchered the pronunciation. It looks like random letters thrown together. Somewhere mid-ride, ticket control came by. Since our student pass stops at the German border. We had to quickly get tickets from Grambo, the last German station, before crossing into Poland. And the weird part is there is no border sign, no flag, no checkpoint. You only notice you have crossed over and the Polish border police step in for ID checks and your phone quietly says goodbye to its network. That moment's always strange, how you can cross into a new country without even feeling the world shift under your feet. Also, can we talk about the washroom on this train? It had a sliding round fancy door like something out of a sci-fi movie. Not spotless, but clean enough for travel. These little things weirdly impressed me. When we reached Szczecin, the first thing I saw was water right beside the station. Fun fact, this is the West Oder, a branch of Oder River which flows through the city to Szczecin Lagoon and ultimately into the Baltic Sea. We stood there for a while just taking it in and took some pictures. We had to wait for our tram to the first destination and only one of us had working mobile network. Apparently not all EU networks work everywhere, some roam freely and some prefer to stay home. Tram itself looked kinda cute, single seats by the window that felt vintage and I really liked that. When we got off, the first thing we saw was this stunning old building. Had no idea what it was. Turns out it is the Maritime University of Szczecin. Look at the view from atop this place. We took pictures, tried another reel, and then I saw the most heartwarming thing. A woman was playing fetch with our dog, except the dog kept bringing the ball back to anyone who came across, like it was trying to make friends with everybody, or it was just figuring out who was its parent. We kept walking through roads, half dug and flyovers under construction. At one point, it weirdly reminded me of Hebbal and Majestic in Bengaluru. Same tangle of roads meeting together. Isn't it strange how far you can travel and still find pieces of home? We passed through the market square and ended up at the Archcathedral Basilica of St. James. We went in together and it was a huge structure and it was simple, beautiful and unique and calm. By now we were starving. We came back to the market square, which we had thought as just few beautiful buildings on the way, but in fact it was Haymarket Square and the town hall. Every building here was a restaurant and they were mostly Chinese and Thai.
After a lot of discussion and some more and a little more later,
1 hour later.
After discussing forever, going through menus outside, we finally found this small Italian place. It was cozy, warm, and most importantly, had Wi-Fi. Sometimes happiness really is as simple as that: pizza, pasta, and the world coming back online. After lunch, we made few more reels. You can check that on my Instagram. Then we wandered back toward the waters again for some more pictures and almost screamed when we spotted this super realistic sculpture, barrels full of fish, some spilled out on the pavement. It was art, but it caught us so off guard that for a moment we thought someone dropped their dinner. Our day wrapped up the way all good trips do, in chaos. Our train from Szczecin cut delayed and we only had 5 minutes to switch to the next one. We saw a connecting train on the opposite track, all set to move as our train slowed down, and boy, we ran like full speed, out of breath, stood in survival mode on. Turns out half the station was running too and somehow all of us made it. As the train rolled back toward Berlin, we were tired, laughing with sore feet and heart full. And that's all it really was. One day in Poland filled with laughter, running, and the joy of just being somewhere new. Thanks for watching and for finding me here again.